I know you scared. Yeah, I'd be too. Yeah, if I were you. I know you scared. I'd be too. If I were you. You better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game. 'Cause all of us you better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game. You better bring your A game.
Wow, the Minnesota Vikings beat the Green Bay Packers 24-10, but at a hefty cost, a hefty price, a huge price. And that is most likely, well, obviously, quarterback Kirk Cousins. He suffered an Achilles injury against the Packers. He tore his Achilles. And now I'm losing hope, and I'm sorry. I'm one of the biggest purple Kool-Aid drinkers. I'm one of the biggest Minnesota Vikings fans. I am one of the most positive Minnesota Vikings content creators on the face of the YouTube platform. Yet, I, even after this win, do not feel good about the whole quarterback situation and Kirk Cousins. And that being said, Kirk Cousins was balling out these past two games. He was doing his thing. He was making these incredible plays. He was doing this, doing that. And we don't want to wish any bad luck on anybody, because I know many Vikings fans, the ones who aren't so positive, ones who aren't as much of a purple Kool-Aid drinker as I am, they wanted to get rid of Kirk Cousins. And as much as they feel that they want to get rid of Kirk Cousins, or that they want to move on, that it's time to move on from Kirk, you would never want to wish injuries on anyone. And I'm glad that nobody did, but now this is happening to Kirk Cousins, and it's impossible to feel bad for him. Because a player with at his age who can still play at the high level that he's playing at, I mean, come on. It's just so sad. It's so disappointing. It's so like so it's just really disappointing, you know. And Kirk Cousins, overall, a player who is phenomenal. Okay, he's been quietly putting up great numbers, been quietly doing his thing as quarterback, and this is going to take a toll on a lot of people. Because Kirk Cousins, first of all, great family man, okay? Great family person. We know that. And overall, it's just so disappointing. You know, Kirk Cousins has been putting up incredible numbers, like I said, ever since pretty much the bye week of 2020, you know, when you think about it. And Kirk is better than we think, than many of us think. You know, he's not garbage, but he's not exactly at the Patrick Mahomes level. But that's okay, because Kirk Cousins is doing his thing and playing at the right level, the right skill level to win us games. And he helped win us a game. But real quick, before I get more on to Kirk Cousins, shout out to Brian Flores, the amazing defensive coordinator with his amazing defensive scheme. He is making incredible calls, helping his defensive players make incredible plays left and right. And word around the team is, I believe Najee Thompson, who I didn't see on the field today, is the celebrations coordinator. I like that. They should make that a job. They should make that a real job. That'd be pretty funny, pretty cool. And Cam Bynum, by the way, Cameron Bynum of the Minnesota Vikings, safety, you are doing your thing. He keeps on getting both hands on the football all the time. He's been making pass breakups, doing everything. And just all these things are incredible. And Cam Bynum, the things that you're doing, wow, they're amazing. Movie. Cam Bynum, signature move, signature word. It's going to be a movie. You know, so, and it was a movie. Cam Bynum is doing his thing. He should have his own, like, documentary or movie or show or something. Maybe when he retires, maybe even now, you know. And by the way, help get his wife out of the Philippines. His wife needs to sit in the stands or be in a booth or wherever and watch her husband play up close. All right. She needs that, you know. Can't imagine how Cam Bynum deals with this, and I don't know how he's able to clear his mental state, because that can really affect people. So shout out to Cam Bynum. He's been taking it, from what we see, been taking it so well. And I have the utmost respect for Cam Bynum as both a player and person. I wasn't even mad at him when he dropped an interception earlier in the game, because he's been doing his thing, and we'll allow that. We will allow that because Cam is our guy. And by the way, another guy that played well, Caleb Evans. He and Mekhi Blackman both had some nice little pass breakups. Caleb Evans, that pass interference call, that's whatever, but just shout out to the Vikings defense again for not allowing any Packer first downs until late in the second quarter, late in the first half. So that was incredible. That was a great job from the defense. Again, Brian Flores is doing his thing. Mekhi Blackman, like I said, also with those incredible pass breakups. You guys reminded me of Duke Shelley over here. You guys reminded me of Duke Shelley. Duke was his pass breakups were his specialty. But people say, "Oh, Brian Flores doesn't like short cornerbacks." No, that's not exactly true. Maybe if it is true, whatever. But Brian Flores is the kind of guy, in my opinion, who will work with whatever he has or whoever he has, and that would include Duke Shelley if he was still on our team, which I wish he was still on our team, because we could have had Byron Murphy with him, and that would have been awesome. Byron Murphy, by the way, gonna need a little bit of work. Gonna need a little bit of work. But hey, he's doing his thing to an extent. And he wears the most creative, crazy outfits. Byron Murphy seems like a funny comedy guy. Just hope he can transfer his stuff to the field, his greatness to the field. And he did that more than once in his career. So I hope he can do that with us. So, and by the way, happy birthday, Danielle Hunter. Happy birthday to you, Danielle Hunter. Stripping the ball twice out of Packers players' hands. And I like the thing that you're doing. I like it, Danielle. I like it. And back to Kirk Cousins. What do we want to do with Kirk? Like, what do you want to do with Kirk Cousins? Like, honestly, with a straight face, tell me what you want to do with Kirk Cousins, because I do not know. But I do have faith in Jaren Hall. Or shout out to Uncle Rap, by the way. Uncle Rap from Purple Pocket Podcast calls him Jaren Mahomes Hall. I like the name. Jaren Hall definitely does have Patrick Mahomes' mobility. Patrick Mahomes and Jaren Hall have the same mobility, so obviously that can work out the way that it works out. But I did like the idea of Jaren Hall sitting behind Kirk Cousins. But Jaren Hall coming in, he looked a bit too shy out there, but we can't blame the rookie, okay? It's his first time back on the field in like 8 games, 8, 9, maybe even 10 games. He's been sitting on the bench, learning from Kirk Cousins, soaking in all the knowledge. He still has Nick Mullins to learn from too, maybe even Sean Mannion, who, are we really going to play Sean Mannion next week? Please figure the situation out, the whole quarterback situation, because we saw what happened in 2021, the last time we played Sean Mannion against the Packers. Oh, wow, the Packers. Isn't that a surprise? In Lambeau Field, by the way. Oh, I just realized we finally beat the Packers in Lambeau Field. The last time we did that was in Week 8 of 2020. Yeah, 2020. Wow. Time flies. When Dalvin Cook had 4 touchdowns, both rushing, both receiving. Well, not in that order, but 4 touchdowns in total, whether receiving or rushing, because one of them was on a screen from Kirk Cousins that went for about 74 yards to the end zone. But overall, this team is incredible. This team has great potential. But I honestly think that this absence of Kirk Cousins, the torn Achilles, the injury, it will take a toll on people. Because when Justin Jefferson comes back, his stats might be impacted in a not-so-great way. Jordan Addison's stats might be impacted in a not-so-great way. And not to mention, well, actually, I should mention this, Jordan Addison has been having a better rookie season than Justin Jefferson did in 2020. Because Jordan Addison, by the way, nice little Lambeau leap. It was smart to leap into the purple, like Jonathan Vilma said. God, I love Jonathan Vilma. Love Kenny Albert. They both have great voices. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman stole Monday Night Football, by the way. You guys stole Monday Night Football from Brian Grease, Louis Riddick, and Steve Levi. I mean, Those are my 3 favorite guys. And Joe Buck and Troy Aikman had to take their spot, huh? It's okay. I forgive them, though. As long as they can find, new jobs in the NFL. Don't you guys miss, though, when normal commentators did their normal stuff? Like, the right commentators did the right stuff when the Thursday night commentators were doing the Sunday night football, or at least one of them, and Joe Buck and Troy Aikman were doing Thursday night football. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman did Thursday night football on Fox, and Brian Grease, Louis Riddick, and Steve Levy were doing the Monday night football. God, I love that trio. Those people were the best. But, I love analysts. I love commentators. I love journalists overall, NFL journalists, NFL analysts, NFL commentators. Truly what I love to do. Truly my passion. My dream still is to work for the Minnesota Vikings. And back to Kirk Cousins, though. I still think that he is a good player. Okay, he's definitely a good player. You cannot deny that he's been playing fantastically, whether quietly, whether loudly, because he did beat the Niners on Monday Night Football. And we did mention that if we didn't win this game against the Packers, preferably by 14 or more points, that the game against the Niners would mean nothing. So I'm glad that we kept ourselves, and we're not frauds. We beat the Packers, we beat the Niners, we beat the Bears, Panthers. So there's something going for us. And we could have beaten the Chiefs, we could have beaten the Eagles, we could have easily beaten the Chargers. I'm still mad about that game. Man, the Chargers are either the best bad team or the worst good team, So, but the defense played well. Kirk Cousins played well, but as much as I don't want it to, this whole Kirk Cousins thing might impact Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison's stats. Jordan Addison, by the way, has about 7-8 touchdowns in the amount of games that he's played so far. I mean, Jordan Addison is going to have, or maybe already has, more touchdowns than Justin Jefferson had in his whole rookie season. I mean, that man is balling out. I'm so excited to see more of what he can do. Jordan Addison, much appreciation to you. You're an incredible inspiration on our team. Glad to have you on our team. I hope that more great things happen to you. Hey, by the way, Justin Jefferson, I know you had a rough middle of your season, but hey, there's always next year. There's always next year. And honestly, I want to see Justin Jefferson, just in case Tyreek Hill, which I hope he doesn't, by the way. Hope he doesn't get 2,000 yards before Justin Jefferson, but it looks like that's what's going to happen because he already has over 1,000. Or maybe exactly 1,000. I don't know, but he's definitely at the big 1,000. But Justin Jefferson, just in case Tyreek Hill gets 2,000, if that could motivate Jefferson for him to go out there next season and just get 2,500 receiving yards in a season, or maybe even 3,000. Who really knows? The NFL, weirder things have happened, okay? Weirder things have happened. And overall, this team, too much talent, too much resilience, too many incredible players to be down this bad, or to be going through things that are this bad, And our run game, oh my gosh, our run game, oh my gosh. I told you guys, maybe I didn't tell you, but I felt it. Getting rid of Dalvin Cook would take a huge toll on our team. We just lost like 15 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. I'm glad that we got our first rushing touchdown with Cam Akers, but still, we lost a lot of rushing touchdowns, a lot of potential, a lot of speed when we got rid of Dalvin Cook. It is what it is. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I still love this team, but I miss Dalvin. I still believe that Madison can do a little something, but I'm liking Cam Akers a bit better right now. Hey, no offense to Madison. I love the guy as a player. Love the guy even more as a person. I met him. He did great things for me, along with many other people. So you can't blame Madison. He's trying his best. He's trying his best to help the team, and he's surprisingly a good pass catcher. Surprisingly, he's been good at catching screens since 2020, 2021. Screens have been his thing, but now it's just any kind of pass he'll catch it and go in the end zone. Hopefully, we don't talk about week 3 or week 5 though, because that doesn't count. But except for the touchdown against the Chiefs late in the game in the fourth quarter to put us up. Not up, but down by 7, which we ultimately lost the game by. But it is what it is. This team is this team, and a win is a win. We're 4-4, trying to get our season back on track. Just being a Vikings fan. USA. It's painful. Gotta calm myself down. Because the team is the team. Nothing much we can do about it. And What I can do about this, though, is hop on right into the stats. So, stats are stats, okay? They are what they are, but they do mean something, including PFF, by the way, Pro Football Focus. Those numbers, those rankings, they mean something. They made, well, they're not the only things that made Christian Darrisaw the best left tackle in the NFL. Christian Darrisaw is just good like that. He's just great like that. He's got a great mentality too. Great size. By the way, speaking of size, did you guys see the size of Packers what's his name? Preston Smith. Yeah, Preston Smith. Did you guys see how big the guy's shoulders were and just how big and sturdy he was and how fast and muscular he was? I'm like, whoa. Oh my gosh. And as Uncle Rap would say from the Purple Pocket podcast, that's hard to say. But he would say, wow, that's a Sasquatch out there. A Sasquatch on the field. And not only did I see that in Marcus Davenport, but wow. Also, Preston Smith, that guy's got some size on him. Sheesh. Man. Hey, if a guy like that was chasing me, I'd run the other way. You know? And I know that would get you like fired or cut, but it's better than getting killed by a guy 3 times your size, maybe even 5 times your size, you know? But Preston Smith is a guy that I got respect for too. It's kind of funny. Rivalries are like one of the best things that make like sports really good. But I actually do have respect for guys who are actually on other teams. Some that are rivals, you know, it is what it is. And the Packers do have a nice looking stadium. I'm sorry to say it. But ours is better. That's not what I'm sorry to say. I was sorry to say that the Packers have a nice looking stadium, but ours is better. US Bank Stadium, the crowd is fire. The crowd is lit. Skol Vikings, guys. We can get our season back on track. I don't know what's going to... Oh, that's upside down. I hope Kirk Cousins comes back healthy. All prayers to him. God bless Kirk Cousins, you know, a quarterback who I think has a lot of potential in this league. And I want to see a lot more from him when he comes back. Assuming that we do something to keep him. But, man, this is sad. It's hard not to feel bad for Kirk Cousins. Now we have to... What would we do with the trade deadline? Because we technically lost something even though we didn't lose the game. We could get some kind of quarterback in here. Well, hey, if Kevin O'Connell, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, Mark Wilf, Ziggy Wilf, the Wilfs... If you guys want to do something and be creative, you know, yeah. But like I said, you want to trade for someone, you want to do something at the trade deadline. Like I said, Kevin O'Connell, head coach, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, general manager, the Wilfs, both owners of the Vikings who've been making bucket loads of billions of dollars. They got to get creative if they want to try and help this team out at the trade deadline. You know, at the trade deadline is what I'm trying to say. And whether it's defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons or defensive lineman Jeffrey Simmons, he can play tackle, or at the end, or Tier Tart, another defensive tackle who slung Garrett Bradbury around in practice, threw him around like it was nothing. Also, I don't really agree with trading for Derrick Henry. I would be fine with Patrick Surtain, though. We needed a cornerback and a quarterback. So, I can't say that I'm the most confident person in the world with Jaren Hall at quarterback, but it's better than nothing. And it's definitely better than Sean Mannion. And no hate to Sean Mannion, by the way. He can do something. He can help contribute to this team in any kind of way, some kind of way. But as far as quarterbacking goes and like the starting quarterback, I want to see Jaren Hall out there. And I'm sorry. Well, not really that sorry. I want to see Jaren Hall out there, period. And I stand by that. I'm confident by that. And just sad things happen. I mean, the NFL, it's in the NFL. Not for long. Not for long. We thought we were going to get our season back on track, and we probably will. But Kirk Cousins' injury, it can derail a whole season. You know, anything can derail a whole season. It's the NFL, guys. It's the NFL, for crying out loud, okay? And it makes all the sense in the world to go out and get a quarterback. Well, if you're planning on getting rid of Kirk Cousins, you know, then it would make sense. But if not, then that wouldn't make sense. Anyway, the NFL is the NFL. It is what it is. And I remember saying that I wanted to get into stats, and my apologies for taking this long. My deepest apologies. Kirk Cousins, 23 for 31, 274 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions this time. Jaron Hall, 23 yards passing only. We need to learn how to run the ball a bit better though. So, we also picked off Jordan Love, by the way. Alexander Madison, 31 yards rushing only on 16 carries. That is horrendous. I really hope Madison improves, I'm not saying that Madison's horrendous, but just looking at that stat, doesn't it physically hurt you? Doesn't it mentally hurt you? Doesn't that make your teeth hurt to look at 16 times Madison carried the ball, only 31 yards out of it, averaging 1.9 yards per carry? That is painful to look at. Cam Akers, rough game for him too. 9 carries, only 19 yards, but he did have a rushing touchdown, so that's pretty good there. On the receiving side of things, KJ Osborne having himself another nice game. 8 receptions, 99 yards. TJ Hawkinson checks in with 6 receptions and 88 yards and a touchdown. Jordan Addison, 7 receptions, 82 yards and a touchdown. Brandon Powell with 10 receiving yards. So Brandon Powell is doing his thing. He's coming into his own. I like Brandon Powell. Like him a lot. And size doesn't matter when it comes to Brandon Powell. Cameron Bynum and Harrison Phillips both had half a sack. Josh Metellus had an interception where he ripped the ball out of the player's hands. Can't remember who the player is right now. It might have been Romeo Dobbs or some kind of maybe a no-name Packers receiver. But Josh Allen, not Josh Allen. Why did I say Josh Allen? Oh my God. Josh Metellus ripped the ball out of a Packers player's hands. And Danielle Hunter, happy birthday, Danielle Hunter. Gets himself a birthday sack and 3 birthday tackles. DJ Wanham with 2 sacks. I'm liking DJ Wanham. Ever since he led the team in sacks in 2021 in his second year, which is very hard to do. The pressure's all on you without Danielle Hunter and Everson Griffin. Back then, I mean, DJ Wanham did his thing. No Danielle, no Everson, and DJ Wanham stepped up and led the team in sacks. And the team had 52 sacks in 2021 in total. Loving this team. Love this team. Despite the Kirk Cousins injury. Ty Chandler, 1 return on the kickoff, 27 yards. Brandon Powell had 3 returns for 34 yards. Greg Joseph missed 2 field goals, 1 or 2. Can't really remember, but 6 points in total for Greg. Greg the leg, big leg Greg. Ryan Wright, 2 punts for 87 yards in total, averaging 43.5 yards per punt. Only one of them was inside the 20-yard line. It is what it is, guys. It really is what it is. Team stats. The Vikings are heavily favored here. The Vikings with 346 yards. The Packers with 278 total. Not 78. Vikings with 346 total yards. The Packers with 278. The Vikings with 284 passing yards. The Packers with 196. The Vikings with 62 rushing yards. The Packers with 74. Both teams had a not so good rushing day. The Packers averaged 4.4 yards per play. The Vikings averaged 5 yards per play. The Packers with 16 first downs. Vikings with 24 first downs. On third down efficiency, the Vikings were 10 for 18. Packers were 5 for 14. Again, shout out to the defense, stopping them 9 times on third down. 1 for 1 on fourth down efficiency by the Vikings. 1 for 4 by the Packers. Vikings with 69 total plays. 69 total plays. And the Packers, 62 total plays for the Packers. The Vikings allowed 3 sacks. Packers allowed 4. Packers also punted 4 times, and the Vikings punted twice. The Vikings had 7 penalties that costed them 35 yards. The Packers had 11 penalties that costed them 99 yards. The Vikings, unfortunately, had a fumble lost. And the Bears, not the Bears. Why am I saying so many random things right now? And the Packers threw 1 interception. The Vikings are finally leading again in time of possession with 36 minutes and 22 seconds of possession of the football. Packers with 23 minutes and 38 seconds of possession. And that seems pretty low, doesn't it? Pretty low. And if you check the NFC divisions, the division, like the standings, it seems that the Vikings are ahead of the Packers, ahead of the Bears. So that is good. That is pretty good. Pretty good. Glad to see it. And this team does need a bit of improvement, and we need to stop getting injured so much too, But I still have faith in you guys. I am one of the biggest purple Kool-Aid drinkers on the planet. I'm a huge Kirk fan, huge Vikings fan, obviously. You can obviously tell. And I believe in our team. I believe that we can do something to improve. Something, anything, please, anything at this point. We're desperate. We beat the Packers 24-10 at the cost of our quarterback, Kirk Cousins. He got injured, tore hamstring. No, not hamstring, tore ACL. But we can get him back. I'm not sure when. It might not even be any time this season, but I hope we do. But Skull, and it's backwards again, or upside down. Skull Vikings. We're 4-4. Let's get our season back on track. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. This team, man.
I know you're scared. Yeah, I do too. If I were you. I know you're scared. I do too.